Broadcasting from the Keep Moving Forward Creator Studios, it's time for the Athletes of the Titan Games podcast. This limited release show features the stories of the 2019 contestants of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's athletic competition, NBC's The Titan Games. Now here's your host, Katie Galley.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Athletes of the Titan Games podcast. I'm your host, Katie Galley. In the Keep Moving Forward Creator Studio with me today, I have Titan Games athlete and foot and ankle surgeon Bradley Schaeffer. How are you doing, Bradley?
I'm doing well, Katie. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. So just to get the ball rolling, I wanted to open it up with where did you grow up and how, if at all, was your childhood shaped by athletics?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia in the suburbs. My growing up experience was pretty standard. My dad was a lineman for Pico Energy. My mother was a housewife and cleaned houses on the side. We grew up very, chill, but also very hardworking, and knew the value of a dollar. So I got my work ethic from my parents for sure. My grandparents also, and they gave me everything that I am today. So I give a lot of credit to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you need that support system, and of course, it's the way you're raised. It's the people that are around you that build you up, and so developing that work ethic because of what your parents had instilled within you. And so, growing up around them and learning all of that, and the path that you're on today. I mean, ending up as a contestant on the Titan Games. Did you ever have? I mean, when you were younger, or into your high school or collegiate years, did you play any sports, or how did you end up on this fitness track?
Yeah, so my whole life, I was athletic. My dad was my coach my whole life growing up. I played soccer, basketball, baseball. Baseball was my true love. I actually went to college at Palm Beach Atlantic University. That was a D2 school down in West Palm Beach, Florida. So I played college ball down there for a while, and then I had to hang up my cleats eventually and focus on my academics because I knew I wanted to be in medicine, and being a collegiate athlete with medicine, it is very challenging. My grades were suffering, and long story short, I ended up doing that, and so I never lost it. I just kept playing ball. I kept working out, and I love fitness. I love just trying to live a healthy lifestyle. I think being a doctor and always repping health and wellness, I can't necessarily be on the other end of that and, not feeling fit and showing what I'm telling them that they should try to, be themselves, because, diet and exercise is important in everyone's life.
Right. And that makes complete sense, especially with the field that you're in. You're practicing what you preach. So you're putting something out there and telling your patients to do one thing. But if you don't reflect that and model that in yourself, then it's not, it's just aligning yourself with the mission that you're already putting out there. And so,
That's right.
From there, how did you initially, playing D2 baseball and, kind of realizing the rigors of that schedule of trying to maintain, pursuing a degree in medicine at the same time being a collegiate athlete, how did you decide to go on that medicine path? Did you always know that you wanted to be a doctor one day, or how did you end up on that particular path?
I think a dream of mine was always to be a surgeon in one way or the other. I grew up, my dad was an electrician for Pico Energy, and he was always on call. If no one really knows what that is, if you're out and someone hits a pole in the middle of the night, well, you have electrical wires on that pole, and someone has to go out and fix them. So that's his job, to go out there and fix them and get everyone's electricity back up and running. So he was on call a lot my whole life, and I always kind of thought to myself that I didn't want a career that I always had to wear a pager, or a beeper. Today, obviously, cell phones. And I didn't want that for my life, so I didn't really know if surgery was right for me. So I kind of went into the mindset of, man, maybe I'll be a pharmacist and stay in medicine and kind of that aspect. But I always still had the back of my mind that I wanted to do surgery, but just didn't know how. And podiatry, which is foot and ankle specialist, that afforded me that opportunity. And what I found out with that is it is kind of like a 9 to 5 job that, yes, you can take ER or trauma call, but you necessarily don't have to, and you can work on, ankles and Achilles and, bunions and hammer toes and like every little thing possible and still do all this awesome surgery, but you're not necessarily getting called in the middle of the night to have to perform it. And that's why I set my sights on podiatry.
And so was there, I mean, being exposed to these different arenas of medicine and learning about them and then deciding exactly what direction you wanted to take, but was there a reason or did something stick out to you in your childhood or through your collegiate career or even beyond that signified to you that you wanted to really go into podiatry? Did you have an injury? Did you experience a friend or a family member, somebody having an injury that you just wanted to really learn more about being a specialist in
Sure.
with feet and ankle, or just it kind of fell into it?
I didn't know anything about it, Katie, to be honest.
Yeah.
I only knew that, people that did surgery in this world were kind of like, heart doctors, brain doctors, and orthopedic surgeons. And, I always thought that lifestyle was on call. Learning about podiatry, and when I learned about it, I was, almost all the way through college. I shifted gears from pharmacy and was actually looking into being a physician's assistant. And then at the end of the day, and nothing wrong with physician's assistants, I think it's fantastic. My sister's a nurse. I just felt like I had it in me to actually be the surgeon. So I looked around a little bit further and, through God's graces, placed that in my lap.
And I mean, yeah, and I think that's a testament to just walking through those doors and seeing these different opportunities, learning about these different arenas, and knowing, okay, I want to be in medicine. Well, what field? And having that desire to be in surgery in some capacity, and then seeing this opening in podiatry, and just learning the ropes and knowing what it was going to take. And so, how long were you in school for before you were able to get out and start officially practicing?
Yeah, school was the crazy part. You have the dream, and it's not you want to be a doctor or you want to be a surgeon. But, I did well in college. I thought my grades were pretty steady, pretty solid, B's, A's for the most part. Then I applied to medical school, and I actually got into Temple University School of Podiatric Medicine. And, man, was that another world for me. That shifted my life completely upside down. I lived at home at the time in Pottstown, and I commuted every day to Temple, which is in Philly. And the commute was insane. The studying was insane. I mean, when I tell you it tested every fiber that I had, I mean, same thing as the Titan games. Like physically, this tested you mentally, and it was wild. I can't say I was actually even prepared for it.
Wow.
But like I always, try to say, perseverance is the key to everything. And, I just persevered, and I never had a mentality that ever, I had never had the word quit in my vocabulary. So I just kept pushing through.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely key, especially, I mean, with the rigorous studies that you chose and the field that and profession that you chose to go into. I mean, you have to have that mentality, just not quitting, deciding, all right, I'm in this for the long haul. This is really what I want to do. And I imagine too, I mean, having that background of being a collegiate athlete, going all the way from childhood up through college, knowing what mental discipline it took to practice every day to try and find that balance between schoolwork, and that athletic work, and just I guess disciplining yourself and learning that, so having that carry over into then that next phase of your life.
That's right.
So I mean, from there, I mean, going into medicine and really going all in, and I mean, with the rigors of school, but once you graduated and now you started actually practicing as a surgeon in podiatry, how did you then continue to manage that physically fit lifestyle, and how did you keep fitness at the forefront?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
You wake up, every day pretty early. You can go see your patients, sometimes 30, 40, 50 patients a day. And you try to give all your energy and attention, to them, do surgery. And it's a lot. It's taxing. And, you really have to get home and, get after it, or get up early in the morning and do it. I have a pull-up bar in my office. So There's one workout that I do every week that, just is pull-ups and push-ups and different things like that in one little room. So, I mean, if you really do have the drive, you can find the time and space. Literally, I have like a little box to do it in. You can find the time to do it. You just have to have the focus.
Absolutely. I love that. You really can, you have the time in your day. You just have to prioritize and you have to make that time.
Right.
You have whatever limited space you have. Body weight movements are an incredible thing to utilize and just to
Absolutely.
figure out how to use them just at those particular points in your day.
Totally.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I love that. That's awesome. Making fitness and that physical fitness a priority in your life. And so then, from there, how did you ultimately find out about the Titan Games and what prompted you to apply?
So, with my work and social media becoming so prevalent in the world right now, I created an account on Instagram. It's Dr. Bradley. And I ended up getting a good amount of followers through that. I'm very open and honest about, my journey and my travels in medicine and my failures. I call them my setbacks and, how I persevered through those. I'm very honest about, I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed throughout my studies in school. And, when you go through medicine, everyone, you kind of feel like everyone's, so smart. And, there's so much competition. And I always grew up on teams. And I never understood why we were all on the same team, but competing at the same time. It never made sense to me. Being in medicine, your end goal is to treat the patient and make the patient better. So, I've had my struggles and setbacks in there. I failed my boards multiple times, and I just kept getting back up and just never quitting. I would get to school earlier. I would stay later. I'd drive home, and it was a lot. So in building my Instagram, I just wanted to show everyone that, yeah, you can smile and do whatever in front of the camera, but, read my caption, listen to my words, in my videos and stuff. And, try to be educational. I also try to be very, motivating and let people know that you're not the only one out there. If I had one person that just put their hand on my shoulder when I was in school and be like, dude, I was there. I failed a couple times too. It's not a big deal. Just keep pushing through it. But no one really did that. So I want to be the voice in medicine to let everybody know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep grinding through it, and you're going to get there.
That's really cool that you utilized an up and coming platform to put that message out there. And to have that persona, the Dr. Bradley Schaeffer, and make that account and show people it's not just about your successes, is about overcoming those setbacks and pushing through them,
Sure.
persevering. And I think uniquely too in that space, in the space of medicine, it's goal setting and wanting to achieve things. That's everywhere. It's not just career specific. It's in any aspect of your life. And like you're saying, it shows through in having a small space in a pull-up bar and doing push-ups and pull-ups and sit-ups and whatever those body weight movements are for the day. It's making fitness, making health, making whatever your goals are a priority. And so I love that you're just, putting it out there on your account. And so, making people aware, and I love that. It's really niched and interesting. And so was it just that the, producers got interested in your account and the persona that you created with your Instagram account and all the things that you were achieving, and it caught their attention, or did you end up seeing the
Right.
application on Instagram?
Yeah, sorry, I guess I didn't answer your question, but yeah,
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I semi did. I'm sorry.
No, you're
But,
good.
yeah, so I try to answer all my DMs and all my messages and stuff. And one day there was a guy from the Titan Games that reached out to me, and I heard about it. I heard that The Rock was doing it. I've been a fan of his for years, but competition shows, athletic shows, although I always felt like I could compete in them. I'm 34. I'm a doctor. A lot of people kind of dedicate their whole lives to train for shows like this to compete at the highest level. I'm not going to say that I thought that I couldn't do it. I'm just going to say I didn't feel like it was my platform, put it that way.
Yeah.
And, while I was going through the social media thing and, treating my patients, they reached out to me, and I was like, oh, wow, something I'll entertain. So I dove into it a little further. Then I applied through that, and they ended up liking my video that I applied with, And then they flew me out to LA, and I competed in the Titan Combine. And I trained pretty hard for it, not as hard as I could have or should have. But when I was out there, I mean, I was up against just, you know, amazing athletes that were doing just what I was doing, and better. And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, if I can get through this combine, I'm going to really push my body to the limits when I get home, and really show everyone that a 34-year-old doctor that sees all these patients every day can still compete at the highest level, and still go out there and kill it. And it goes to show you, like, I did well enough at the combine to get through. They picked me for the final 32 guys, which was super humbling in itself. And yeah, I got picked. I trained my butt off all summer for it. Got in really good shape, and it turned out when I got there, like, your shape isn't necessarily defined by these competitions that The Rock put together. I mean, physically, mentally. I mean, it was nuts. Like everything that he devised.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I got out there. I felt like I did pretty well, and I'm super pumped to see everything.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. I'm so excited to watch the entire season, and the fact too that you, I mean, like you're saying, you walked through that door, you took this opportunity, and I mean to prove yourself, and that's so cool. I mean, heck yeah, you go out there no matter what your age, if you can prove that you're physically and mentally fit, and it's such a mental game to decide to be better and to just persevere and push through. And like you're saying, being one of the first 32 men to be on this inaugural season, it's it's groundbreaking, and you get to be a part of it. So making the most of that one opportunity that you might get. I mean, because you never know if you'll get back there. And so Bradley, I mean,
Right.
from your experience on the Titan Games, from the combine and then beyond, and what would you say is your definition of a Titan, and how do you believe that your experience as a Titan will now carry over into the rest of your life?
My definition of a Titan is anybody that knows how to get up when they continue to get knocked down and continue to persevere. It's been my motto since day one, in medicine. I feel that I'm a Titan, just from that, whether I become a Titan on the show or not.
Heck yeah.
I feel like I'm a Titan this day. And the reason is because I never quit. I always persevere. And, I don't know the word quit. So that being said, that's my definition of a Titan. And I feel like anybody that does give it their all and, puts 100% into every day, and that is confident enough to know that you can fail. Everybody fails, and everybody has their struggles, but you just have to get back up, push harder, try harder, do one more rep, try to eat a little better. There's time in the day. There's people in this world that you can help, and that's the definition of a Titan for me.
Absolutely. I love that. I really do. I mean, again, it's making that priority, and it's prioritization. You have that time. It's just, are you going to decide to utilize it to the best of your abilities? Are you going to decide to be better today, and whatever that looks like for you? Is it one more rep? Is it just eating a little bit better? Is it just making strides to better yourself in whatever capacity that is? And so for your, I mean, as a podiatrist, as a doctor, and a surgeon, and just in your profession now, with the social media presence that you've had, has your, now that, it's coming out and promoting that you're on the Titan Games this season, how has that helped your business, or how has that helped you in that area of your life, in your career?
Well, we haven't aired yet. It airs tonight,
Right.
obviously. That being said, I haven't necessarily seen, that aspect of it yet. I'm anxious to see if it will.
Yeah.
And if this is my platform, or if it's a stepping stone, no matter what, I'm just humbled and blessed to be on a show like this. I definitely did love every minute of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it brings a lot of patience to the practice, because I feel like I can, help a lot of people out there. We have a great practice, in Piscataway and Hillsborough, New Jersey. It's family foot and ankle specialist. I have a great team with me. My boss is awesome. His name's Dr. Peter Wishney. And, yeah, we have a great practice and really treat everyone like their family. So we can handle more people, and whoever wants to come out to check me out, we're definitely open and willing.
Awesome. And I mean, I bet it's going to, I can't imagine why it wouldn't help out, and especially because you were proactive and you created this social media, your Instagram account, and you went ahead and started developing a following before this opportunity even came up. And so now it's just going to be that much more fruitful for you in the days to come because of, the show coming out. And so, I mean, in your profession, in your field, and, the physical fitness world, what's next for you? What kind of, did you set some new goals after you got off the show, or what do you see next on the horizon?
As far as my fitness are concerned, I'm not going to lie to you. I took a little bit of a break after the competition, for sure. Going on the competition, you talk to a lot of the competitors, and when I tell you, like, these people are focused on, fitness and everything like that, I mean, it's an understatement. I mean, they live, eat, breathe, that world. I'm definitely not going to say it's secondary for me, because it's not. I mean, it goes hand in hand with my job,
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about like meal prepping and things like that. But I just straight up took a break. I went on the Santa Claus diet for the holidays, and I just chilled out. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I mean, definitely getting back in Titan shape is a main goal of mine. Whatever comes on the horizon fitness wise, I'm good with. I just got sponsored by Bang Energy, so hopefully
Awesome.
do a lot of things with them. I looked up to them for a while. I think they have a lot of great products, supplements and everything like that. So I'm really humbled to be a part of that. And yeah, I mean, really just educating. Like I said, as a doctor, you can't really sit across from a patient and tell them that they need to lose a little weight, and then that'll help out their foot or ankle problems, if you're not living and breathing it yourself. So
Yeah.
I just want to, show that to my patients, that I can be an example, and, they can do it too. And if they want any advice or tips, I'll be there to give them to them. And yeah, that's my goal for after this show, and whatever opportunities come around, I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you've proved that. And two, I mean, that educational component, one, putting out there, I mean, you're practicing what you're preaching, but also you're on this mission. You have now your platform, like you're saying, to put this stuff out there and show people, just truly what you're made of, and, that you have that level of credibility now. Like, look, I've been through the ringer. I put myself through these physically challenging things, and I actually live this physically fit life, and it's going to help you in whatever it is you're trying to help a patient through, as far as their rehabilitation, or if they need surgery, any piece of it. And so, I mean, Bradley, just with everything that you've accomplished in this incredible journey that you've been on, and knowing that you still have so much left to achieve with all these new goals that you have, I just have one final question that I ask all of my interviewees. But what do you want to be remembered for?
I don't want to always say perseverance, but I want to really put it out there that,
Yeah.
When I was going through medical school, I truly didn't know if I could get through it. And I just kept in my mind that if I persevere, I will achieve it. And that's all that I did. I failed. I had a lot of setbacks. And what I want to be remembered for is that person that went up to that next person and put the hand on the shoulder that I was always looking for, and give that guy or that girl the step and the voice to be able to understand and know that somebody's standing by their side, letting them know that it will be okay, and they have somebody next to them that has their back.
Thank you all for tuning in to today's installment of the Athletes of the Titan Games podcast. To learn more about each of these Titan athletes, be sure to check out their information in the links in my show notes. Furthermore, to stay up to date on all things coming out of the Keep Moving Forward Creators Studio, be sure to subscribe to the Keep Moving Forward podcast iTunes channel and follow along on social media, also available in the show notes. As the creator of the Titan Games, Mr. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says, "Titans aren't born, they're made." And I hope today's story helped you realize all that you are capable of becoming if you put in that hard work and just keep moving forward.